Hey there, climate warriors. Welcome back. Today, we have an incredibly important topic to discuss: climate change. We're going to dive deep into what climate change is, its history, its impact, and most importantly, how each one of us can play a part in mitigating it. So grab a pen and paper, take notes, and let's get started. Before we jump into the details, let's understand what climate change actually means. Climate change refers to long-term alterations in temperature and weather patterns occurring on Earth. It's primarily caused by the increase in greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, in our atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun, leading to a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. The history of climate change dates back to the early days of industrialization. The burning of fossil fuels, like coal and oil, became widespread during the Industrial Revolution, leading to a significant increase in greenhouse gas emissions. As a result, the Earth's temperature started to rise gradually. Over time, this rise in temperature has accelerated, giving birth to the climate crisis we face today. Let's take a journey through time and explore 10 major historical events that have contributed to the current climate change crisis. It's essential to understand how these events shaped our world and influenced the environmental challenges we face today. So, let's dive right in. Event number 1, the Industrial Revolution. Starting in the 18th century, the Industrial Revolution brought about significant advancements in technology, manufacturing, and transportation. While it improved the quality of life for many, it also led to a massive increase in the burning of fossil fuels, releasing vast amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Event number 2, deforestation. As human civilizations expanded, forests were cleared to make way for agriculture, urbanization, and the timber industry. Deforestation not only reduces the Earth's capacity to absorb carbon dioxide but also releases stored carbon into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. Event number 3, fossil fuels. The discovery and widespread use of fossil fuels. In the 19th century, the industrialized world became heavily dependent on coal, oil, and natural gas. The burning of these fossil fuels for energy and transportation released significant amounts of carbon dioxide, a primary greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere. Event number 4, the growth of transportation. The development of automobiles, airplanes, and shipping vessels revolutionized transportation, enabling global trade and travel. However, these modes of transport rely heavily on fossil fuels, intensifying carbon emissions and contributing to climate change. Event number 5, intensive agriculture practices. With the world's population soaring, agricultural practices evolved to meet the growing demand for food. The use of synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, and deforestation for agricultural expansion not only released greenhouse gases but also disrupted ecosystems and biodiversity. Event number 6, rapid industrialization and urbanization. As cities grew and industries boomed, energy consumption skyrocketed. The construction of factories, power plants, and infrastructure contributed to air pollution, increased greenhouse gas emissions, and the loss of natural habitats. Event number 7, consumerism and the rise of the throwaway culture. The 20th century witnessed a shift in society towards consumerism and the mass production of goods. This led to increased resource extraction, energy consumption, and waste generation, contributing to climate change and environmental degradation. Event number 8, nuclear testing and accidents. The detonation of nuclear weapons during the mid-20th century and the occurrence of nuclear accidents, such as Chernobyl and Fukushima, released radioactive materials into the environment. These events have had long-lasting environmental consequences and added to the overall burden on our planet. Event number 9, population growth. The global population has surged over the past century, placing immense pressure on resources and ecosystems. Increased consumption and energy demands associated with population growth have contributed to higher greenhouse gas emissions and environmental degradation. Event number 10, ozone depletion. The discovery and use of chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, in the mid-20th century led to the depletion of the ozone layer in the Earth's atmosphere. This depletion has had cascading effects on climate patterns and ecosystems, exacerbating the impacts of climate change. And there you have it, 10 major historical events that have played a significant role in shaping our current climate crisis. It's essential to recognize the connections between our past actions and the challenges we face today. By understanding the root causes of climate change, we can work towards finding solutions and creating a sustainable future. So, what are the impacts of climate change? Well, they are widespread and affect various aspects of our lives. Rising global temperatures lead to the melting of polar ice caps and glaciers, causing a rise in sea levels. This results in coastal erosion, flooding, and the displacement of coastal communities. Extreme weather events like hurricanes, droughts, and heat waves become more frequent and intense. Ecosystems suffer, leading to biodiversity loss, endangering countless species. Agricultural productivity is also affected, threatening food security worldwide. The list goes on and on. Let's discuss 10 major impacts of climate change that are shaping our world. It's crucial to understand the magnitude of these impacts to comprehend the urgency of taking action. So, let's dive right in. Impact number 1, rising temperatures. One of the most noticeable impacts of climate change is the increase in global temperatures. Rising temperatures lead to heat waves, which pose health risks and strain infrastructure. They also contribute to the melting of glaciers and polar ice caps, leading to rising sea levels. Impact number 2, sea level rise. As temperatures rise and ice melts, sea levels are on the rise. This poses a significant threat to coastal communities, as it leads to increased coastal erosion, flooding, and the displacement of people living in low-lying areas. Impact number 3, extreme weather events. Climate change has resulted in an increase in the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events such as hurricanes, cyclones, droughts, and wildfires. These events have devastating consequences, causing loss of life, destruction of infrastructure, and long-term economic impacts. Impact number 4, loss of biodiversity. Climate change disrupts ecosystems and threatens biodiversity. Rising temperatures, changing rainfall patterns, and habitat destruction contribute to the extinction of species and the disruption of delicate ecological balances. Impact number 5, agricultural disruptions. Climate change affects agricultural productivity and food security. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns can lead to crop failures, reduced yields, and increased vulnerability to pests and diseases. This has a ripple effect on global food systems and can lead to increased food prices and scarcity. Impact number 6, water scarcity. Climate change exacerbates water scarcity in many regions, and changing precipitation patterns and increased evaporation rates lead to water shortages, affecting agriculture, industries, and access to clean drinking water for communities around the world. Impact number 7, health risks. Climate change poses significant risks to human health. Heat waves can cause heat-related illnesses and deaths. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns also impact the spread of vector-borne diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, and Lyme disease. Additionally, air pollution worsens respiratory conditions and leads to increased respiratory illnesses. Impact number 8, coral bleaching and ocean acidification. Increasing water temperatures and ocean acidification, primarily caused by carbon dioxide emissions, harm coral reefs and other marine ecosystems. Coral bleaching, the result of stressed corals expelling the symbiotic algae they rely on, has severe consequences for marine biodiversity and coastal economies. Impact number 9, disproportionate impacts on vulnerable communities. Climate change disproportionately affects marginalized communities, including indigenous populations. These communities often depend on natural resources for their livelihoods and are more susceptible to the impacts of extreme weather events and environmental changes. Impact number 10, economic consequences. Climate change has far-reaching economic impacts. The costs of adapting to and recovering from extreme weather events, the loss of agricultural productivity, rising healthcare costs, and the displacement of communities all place a significant burden on economies worldwide. And there you have it, 10 major impacts of climate change that are reshaping our world. It's essential to recognize the gravity of these impacts and their interconnectedness. By understanding the consequences, we can drive action and work towards creating a sustainable future. I hope you found it informative and eye-opening. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the enormity of the climate crisis, but remember, every individual can make a difference. Let's talk about how you, as an individual, can contribute to mitigating climate change. Action number 1, reduce energy consumption. One of the most effective ways to combat climate change is by reducing our energy usage. This can be done by turning off lights and appliances when not in use, using energy-efficient lighting and appliances, and embracing alternative energy sources such as solar power. Action number 2, opt for sustainable transportation. Transportation is a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. By choosing eco-friendly modes of transportation like walking, cycling, carpooling, or using public transportation, we can reduce our carbon footprint and promote cleaner air. Action number 3, practice waste reduction and recycling. Waste generation contributes to climate change through greenhouse gas emissions in landfills. By practicing waste reduction, recycling, and composting, we can minimize waste and conserve resources. Action number 4, adopt a sustainable diet. The food we consume has a significant impact on the environment. By reducing our meat consumption, opting for locally sourced, organic, and seasonal produce, and minimizing food waste, we can reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote sustainable farming practices. Action number 5, conserve water. Water scarcity is a growing concern in many regions. By practicing water conservation methods such as fixing leaks, using efficient appliances, and reducing water usage in daily activities, we can minimize water wastage and preserve this precious resource. Action number 6. Plant trees and support reforestation efforts. Trees play a crucial role in mitigating climate change by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. By planting trees in our communities, supporting reforestation projects, and preserving existing forests, we can contribute to carbon sequestration and biodiversity conservation. Action number 7. Choose eco-friendly products. From household items to personal care products, choosing eco-friendly alternatives can significantly reduce our environmental impact. Look for products that are made from sustainable materials, are recyclable, and have minimal packaging. Action number 8. Embrace renewable energy. Transitioning to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower is crucial in reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. Consider installing solar panels on your property or supporting renewable energy initiatives in your community. Action number 9. Educate and raise awareness. One of the most powerful tools we have is knowledge. By educating ourselves and raising awareness about climate change and its impacts, we can inspire others to take action and drive meaningful change in our communities. Action number 10. Advocate for climate action. Use your voice to advocate for stronger climate policies and support initiatives that promote sustainability. Reach out to your elected representatives, join local environmental organizations, and participate in climate marches and events to amplify the call for action. And there you have it, the 10 most impactful actions that individuals can take to mitigate climate change. Remember, small actions add up, and together, we can make a significant difference. But it's not just individuals who need to step up. Companies play a vital role in mitigating climate change as well. Let's talk about how companies can make a positive impact. As a company, embracing sustainability should be a top priority. Transitioning to renewable energy sources, optimizing resource usage, and implementing energy-efficient technologies can significantly reduce emissions. Companies can also support sustainable supply chains, invest in research and development of clean technologies, and set ambitious emissions reduction targets. By taking these steps, companies can lead the way in building a greener future. Pexels Mark Espejo 8,757,573, 2160p celebrities have an influential platform and can use their fame to raise awareness and drive positive change. Let's explore how celebrities can contribute to climate mitigation efforts. Celebrities can leverage their social media presence and reach to educate their fans about climate change. By using their influence to promote sustainable practices, support environmental organizations, and fund renewable energy initiatives, they can inspire millions of people to take action. Additionally, celebrities can use their star power to engage with policymakers and advocate for stronger climate policies. Lastly, let's discuss the role of politics in tackling climate change. Governments and policymakers have the responsibility to enact effective policies and regulations to drive climate action. Let's dive into how politicians can contribute to climate mitigation efforts. Politicians can prioritize climate change as a critical issue and work towards developing and implementing comprehensive climate action plans. This includes investing in renewable energy infrastructure, incentivizing sustainable practices, supporting research and development of climate-friendly technologies, and participating actively in international climate negotiations. By creating an enabling environment, politicians can set the stage for a sustainable future. And that's a wrap on our discussion about climate change. Remember, whether you're an individual, a company, a celebrity, or a politician, we all have a role to play in mitigating climate change. Together, we can make a difference and ensure a habitable planet for future generations. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and press bell icon for more informative content on climate action. Until next time, let's all keep fighting for our Mother Earth.